Now, before we jump into the video, I want to share some exciting news. Well, it's exciting for us anyway. And that's that we're going to be starting up a new channel on a service called Discord. Now, if you're not familiar with Discord, it's a virtual chat environment, but unlike YouTube and Facebook, it has fewer rules as it relates to air guns and to hunting in particular. So we're going to be showing more hunting content on this Discord channel. So if you'd like to see part 2 of this video, in which I take the Walther Rotex RM8 Varmint UC and the Pard NV007 on a recent rat shooting trip, then click on the link below and you'll find us there on our new Discord channel. Right, let's get back to this review. Hello and welcome to Alpha Militaria TV. Thanks very much for tuning in once again. My name is Richard Saunders. Now, as I always do, I want to say a big thank you to anyone who subscribes and invite anyone who's perhaps come across us for the first time to hit the subscribe button as well. And obviously, if you like what you see, give us a like. And if you're interested in more information on Alpha Militaria, you can check out our website, which is www.alphamilitaria.com, where you'll also find our store, which sells a whole bunch of airgunning accessories, scopes and what have you. And there's also a bunch of articles on airgunning topics. And then also we've got some links below to some Amazon pages for some products that I use on a regular basis. Now then, we're changing things a little bit this time, in as much as I'm going to talk about this rifle just a little bit, and the Pard NV007 infrared add-on. And then I'm going to show you some footage from a hunting trip that I did last night, some rat shooting, to see how it all works together. Now the rifle itself is the Walther Rotex RM8 Varmint UC Ultimate Compact. Very, very similar rifle to the full-size rifle, which we reviewed earlier in the summer. So I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time going through the details on this rifle because they're very similar, and we'll put the link below to that full-length rifle review so you can see that. But as the name suggests, Ultimate Compact, it is a little bit shorter, not a huge amount shorter. This rifle is about 916 millimeters long, including the supplied silencer, and you do get a silencer with the UC. I don't believe you get a silencer with the rifle version, so that's worth bearing in mind. 3.75 kilos, so a little bit lighter than the full-length rifle. Still quite a weighty thing though, to be perfectly honest. Very, very solid, very, very well made. It retails for just under £500, $499.95. That's the recommended retail price from John Rothery, which is the official distributor, so it's excellent value for money. 340 millimeter barrel. It's obviously a Lothar Walther barrel, so it's an excellent barrel. The pull is about 365 millimeters, which is about standard. Very comfortable as well. Has this 8-shot rotary magazine, which works very nicely. Bolt action. The bolt requires quite a firm hand, to be perfectly honest. And the magazine is removed by pulling the bolt back, pushing back this little clip, taking the magazine out. The magazine is like a sort of a rotary magazine. I say it takes 8 shots. This is a 2.2. It takes 8 shots in 1.77 as well. Very similar to the Varak HW100 magazine, which is no bad thing at all. And then you put the magazine from the left, and then as you push the bolt forward, that retaining catch gets picked up by the bolt. So you don't have to worry about sliding that back separately. The bolt takes care of it. And when you cock it, the automatic safety catch gets pulled out at the back, and you'll need to push down a little central catch in the middle and then push that forward in order to make the rifle live. I'm just going to dry fire this. There's nothing in the magazine. Now it's got a 200cc bottle, which will take a 232 bar fill, and you get about 180 shots, maybe a little bit more in 2 and possibly a little bit less in 1.7, which is excellent because it's a relatively small bottle. And the reason why you get that high shot count and also fantastic consistency across the range is because this rifle is regulated. The black polymer stock is very, very tough. Excellent plastic on this, really is very, very good. The trigger is metal. The trigger guard is molded into the stock itself. The trigger is 2-stage, fully adjustable. Really nice trigger as well. Lets off very, very cleanly. There's no adjustment on the stock. You have a vented shoulder pad that doesn't move, but it's very comfortable. Although there's some sort of moulding into the comb here that makes it look like it should adjust, it doesn't. Big cutout for your handle, cutout for the pistol grip handle, fits your hand nicely. Lots of checkering on it as well, very, very grippy too. And then underneath you'll see the fill probe just here by the pressure gauge. There's no plug or cap for the fill port. Which is a bit of a surprise, but there you go. And then just forward of that you have a little short Picatinny rail to take a bipod. So that's a quick rundown on the rifle. As I say, if you want more information on this rifle, how to fill it, how to use the magazines, close-ups on all the various features, then do take a look at our review of the RM8 Varmint full-length rifle. As I say, links down below. Now, the PARD NV007. Now, there's been lots of videos about this, so I'm not going to go into huge amounts of detail on this because it's been done before. And this is actually my one, and it's quite an old model as well. So probably a lot of the features that I talk about this have possibly been upgraded and improved on the new versions. But there are two versions of this currently shipping. They both sell for £332.99 from Sportsman Gun Centre, again, which is the official distributor for PARD products. Now, the two versions are, one has a 4x optical magnification, and the other one has a 1x optical magnification, and they both have a 7x digital zoom. So the 4x will give you a range of 4 to 28 times magnification, and the 1x will give you a range of 1 to 7 times magnification. Now, I'll be honest, I've always used the scopes magnification when I'm out shooting because it's just easier than poking around with buttons, and I find that works really, really well. I must admit, I don't use this for rabbit shooting or anything kind of long distance. I tend to use it for rat shooting because it's absolutely fantastic for that. Rabbit shooting, I use the NV008, the sister product to this. Now, it records in 1920 by 1080 30 frames per second AVI format video. I don't really know what that means, but that's what it said on the website. And as you'll see, the video coverage is perfectly usable for rat shooting. I don't know what it would be like at longer distances, sort of 30-40 meters for rabbit shooting. I have no reason to think it would be much worse, but certainly for rat shooting, it's superb. The unit itself is tiny, only weighs 250 grams. I think it's 42 by 45 by 48 millimeters, so you don't really notice it as a weight on your rifle at all. Now, it takes an 18650 battery, which fits into this this tube up here. Simply unscrew the cap, put the battery in, and screw it in again. Now, PARD says that it will give you 8 hours of continuous use, which I think is a little bit of a stretch. It probably depends on how much you use the IR torch. But take a spare battery with you. It takes seconds to change over, and the batteries are really, really cheap as well. You need the flat positive terminal batteries. I think they're like for the e-cigarettes to work in this. And above that, you have a tiny little IR torch. It's an 850 NM IR torch. It looks puny and pathetic, but it works really, really well. Has 3 levels of brightness, and the beam is adjustable by pulling out and pushing in this the lens up here. Works really, really well, as I say, especially if you're using it just for shooting rats and maybe rabbits close up as well. There's adjustment underneath to bring your the reticle into sharp relief, and also you get an ocular adjustment on the back here as well. And then I found that getting the target image nice and clear is best done with the parallax adjustment on your scope. Now then, fitting it to your actual rifle. Now the PARD NV007 does come with a fitting. It's like a bracket that you have to attach to the back of your scope with an Allen key, and you might want to put a little bit of tape around your scope to stop it getting marked. But once you've attached that, then the NV07 just clips into it. Now I've splashed out for an Eagle Vision NV07 adapter. Comes in this little kit here, which is big enough to keep the actual NV07 as well. And it simply, let me show you this. It simply screws on, if I can undo it, to the back of your scope. So it comprises of this collar and this fitting here for the actual attachment of the scope. And you simply push it onto the back of your scope, tighten it up as far as it will go. And what that does is that the tightening process centers this bracket on the back of the scope. So when you come to attach the actual NV07 to it, which is achieved by a bayonet fitting, then you'll find that you are, as near as damn it, centralized right in the middle of the scope. The crosshairs are nice and centralized. You might just have to give it a little bit of a wiggle around, but it's a lot easier and a lot quicker than the standard fitting that comes with the NV007, and it also means it's much easier to swap this from rifle to rifle. I really like that. So what I'll do is now I'll show you how to attach the scope in close-up and show you the bayonet fitting, and then we're going to do some rat shooting. So the NV007 comes with an 18650 rechargeable battery supplied. To install it or to change the battery, you just need to undo this cap at the back here, or the front I should say, and then take your battery with the positive terminal first, pop it into that hole, into that tube, and then return the cap. And then the unit is actually switched on by this button at the top here. Now once you've attached your bracket to the back of the scope, be that the one that comes with the PARD NV007 or an aftermarket one, or this Eagle Vision one, you'll end up with a fitting at the back which is basically a bayonet fitting. And to attach the scope, you simply put it in and rotate it, and then that locks the scope into the bracket. And then to remove it, there's a little catch just down here. Push that back, rotate it again, and it comes away. Well, that is the Walther Rotex RM8 Varmint, the UC model or ultra compact model, and also the PARD NV007A. Now, one thing I didn't really stress before was that because this is an add-on, literally adds on to your day scope, you don't have to change the zero. So whatever the zero is for your scope during the day, it will be exactly the same with this NV007 bolted on the back at night. And in actual fact, if you wanted to record some footage during daytime, this has an excellent daytime color mode as well. And because of that whole setup, it means that you can swap this unit from rifle to rifle to rifle. Now, I hope that was useful. What we're going to do now is we're going to step back in time, show you how all of this works together on a rat shooting trip from last night.